The Pacific Reserve Bank was a citadel of silence after midnight. In the vast marble-lined atrium, the only human presence was Silas, the night guard. He sat slumped in his uncomfortable leather chair behind the main reception desk. A thin, elderly man in a uniform that seemed 2 sizes too big, his head resting slightly on his chest. He looked less like a guard and more like a discarded grandfather clock. At 2 a.m., the silence was violated. 3 figures, 2 men and a woman dropped silently from a high vent in the ceiling, their descent cushioned by specialized dampeners. They were sleek, professional, and clad in black tactical gear, their faces hidden behind matte finish masks. Their leader, Vance, pointed toward the sleeping guard. "Seriously? This is the best they can afford?" Vance muttered into his cums, stepping over the velvet rope. "Target is neutralized, sleeping on the job. No movement detected. Get the EMP emitter ready." The second man, Jocks, snickered, producing a miniature cutting torch. "He probably gets paid minimum wage to dream about bingo night. What a joke. We'll be out before his bladder wakes him up." Vance approached the desk, the soft thud of his tactical boot the only sound. He paused directly over the sleeping guard and reached down, intending to relieve Silas of the heavy old-fashioned key ring attached to his belt loop, the only physical key needed for the main vault door, a deliberate weakness built into the security system. As Vance's fingers brushed the key ring, Silas's eyes snapped open. They were a startling, vibrant gray, completely devoid of sleep or confusion. The transformation from a harmless old man to a focused weapon was instantaneous. The room erupted in silent, specialized violence. Vance reacted too late. Before he could snatch his hand back, Silas's palm shot up and connected with the lateral nerve bundle just below Vance's wrist. The sudden debilitating shock caused Vance to drop the key ring and his own high-frequency cutter, which clattered uselessly on the marble floor. Silas didn't wait. He used the same upward momentum to twist his body, pulling Vance off balance and driving his elbow into the thief's diaphragm. Vance crumpled silently, his tactical mask hitting the floor. Jocks, reacting instantly to the fall, raised his high-tech dart gun, a silent, pressurized weapon designed to inject fast-acting paralytics. Silas was already moving. He kicked the heavy desk chair out, sending it spinning with surprising force directly into Jocks's legs. The unexpected impact shattered Jocks's balance, forcing a stumble and sending his weapon's aim wide. As Jocks tried desperately to regain his footing, Silas was upon him. He used a lightning-fast Suburi joint lock, a technique designed to disable the shoulder and elbow without a sound twisting, Jocks's arm backward and upward until the dart gun dropped away. Jocks let out a pathetic, muffled gasp as Silas shoved his shoulder against the marble wall, maintaining the unbearable pressure on his elbow joint. The third thief, the woman, was the quickest and most agile. She moved laterally to the side, drawing a small, specialized ceramic blade, silent and invisible to metal detectors. Silas saw the move in the reflection of the atrium's massive, polished glass wall. Instead of blocking the slash, which would have been predictable, he sidestepped sharply into the attack, closing the distance and jamming 2 fingers hard into the pressure point beneath her ear, specifically targeting the vagus nerve. The effect was immediate. The woman's motor function ceased, her mind went blank, and the ceramic blade fell harmlessly. She slumped against the cool marble column, entirely incapacitated. In under 8 seconds, the 3 high-tech, hyper-aggressive thieves who had expected a simple, silent extraction were neutralized. They were scattered across the gleaming marble floor, defeated by an unassuming old man wielding only leverage, anatomical knowledge, and disciplined force. Silas, breathing easily and showing no signs of exertion, retrieved his own small, sleek phone from his shirt pocket, a shirt that, on closer inspection, was tailored to hide an impressive muscular frame beneath the ill-fitting uniform jacket. He tapped the screen and the motion sensors instantly triggered, flooding the vast atrium with main overhead lights. Vance, nursing his throbbing wrist and staggering up, looked at his attacker, utterly bewildered and defeated. Who the hell are you? What was that? You should be in a nursing home." Silas walked over and picked up the high-frequency cutter dropped by Vance. He examined the complex, expensive tool for a moment, then tossed it aside with disdain. My name is Colonel Arthur Thorne, the guard stated, his voice now deep, resonant, and commanding. The voice of a man accustomed to leading hundreds into combat. I retired from the Special Forces Clandestine Operations Unit 2 years ago, where I served for a decade as the tactical instructor for the entire division. I specialized in non-lethal, close-quarters disabling techniques. He looked around at the defeated thieves, his gaze cold and analytical. This bank has been having a very specific internal security problem. Unauthorized data transfers, compromised protocols, all pointing to a planned, high-value heist using cutting-edge countermeasures to bypass the primary electronic vaults. He held up the heavy, ornate old key ring he'd been guarding on his belt. This key you wanted? It's entirely a fake, a deliberate, traceable anomaly placed there to lure the insider. I didn't take this night guard shift for the meager pay or for the quiet solitude. I took it as bait. I volunteered for the decoy assignment. The bank's real security team, acting on an insider tip, knew exactly when and how the thieves would strike, right down to the vent you used for entry. Colonel Thorne picked up the ceramic blade. You relied exclusively on speed, advanced technology, and your own crushing arrogance. You assumed the man in the corner was weak and paid in peanuts. But in the world of deep security, the highest value assets are often the ones you fail to notice because they deliberately look obsolete. He tapped the button on his phone one last time. Moments later, the heavy steel outer doors of the Pacific Reserve Bank slid open with a hydraulic hiss, and a full team of uniformed SWAT officers, led by the bank's chief security officer, flooded in, weapons ready. Colonel Thorne looked down at the utterly defeated Vance, who was being cuffed. You walked right into a precision, textbook trap. You see, son, he concluded, his gaze unforgiving, when you're planning a high-tech heist in this modern era, the biggest mistake you can make is underestimating the lasting, deadly power of the obsolete human element.